Probability is the likelihood of something happening. The interesting thing about probability is it's not about accuracy, it's about likelihood. Even though you can do a precise calculation, you may not see that particular outcome in the real world.
Waking up on Sunday morning in Atlanta, it was maybe wishful thinking to think that I had a chance to win the FedExCup. All I was trying to do was play a good round of golf and finish my PGA Tour season on the best sort of high that I could.
I'm Dr. Lou Lefton. I'm a faculty member in the School of Math at Georgia Tech and an assistant dean in the College of Sciences. Not everything is good to put into a mathematical model. When you're looking at sports, you're looking at a hugely complex system of mental and physical capabilities, and all of those play into something that's not something you quantify. The numbers that you get out of a sporting event are a very thin reflection of what you actually experience.
Heading into the 2016 Tour Championship, the numbers were clearly against Rory McIlroy winning the FedExCup. The statistics favored then world number one Dustin Johnson, who, when he took over the FedExCup points lead after back-to-back wins at the 2016 US Open and then at the Bridgestone Invitational, Johnson looked unbeatable. And after winning the BMW Championship by shooting 23 under, his path to his first FedExCup was simple.
Dustin Johnson won his first major and two other very big titles. He can nail down nearly every other year-long accolade available, including the one that truly measures the season in its entirety.
3 rounds into the 2016 Tour Championship, Johnson was tied for the lead with Kevin Chappell, 2 shots clear of McIlroy.
The first 3 events, they're very important to put yourself in a good position going into, the Tour Championship. I was right there. I needed to play a good round.
I felt like I could win the tournament, but I didn't feel like I could do enough or DJ would play the way he did. I didn't think I had a chance.
McIlroy's best chance for a FedExCup title first came in 2012. Wins at the Dell Technologies Championship and the BMW Championship gave him the number 1 seed heading to Eastlake. But his FedExCup dreams were smashed by Brad Snedeker.
The biggest day, the biggest win of his career.
In 2014, McIlroy was the number 1 seed and was tied for the 54-hole lead. This time, red-hot Billy Horschel ended his chances again.
The greatest playoff run we've seen of these playoffs.
In 2016, McIlroy started the final day 2 shots back, yet only mustered a 1 under par front 9.
We've seen him positioned numerous times. 5 of his 11 stroke play victories have been coming from behind.
With a birdie on the 3rd hole, Johnson was still tied for the lead with Chappell. But then, inexplicably, bogeyed 3 of his next 4 holes, finishing his front 9 in 1 over. Meanwhile, Ryan Moore birdied 5 of his first 10 holes to take the lead at 11 under.
And Ryan Moore has reached the top of the leaderboard.
If either Moore or Chappell were to win the Tour Championship, that would have all but assured Dustin Johnson the FedExCup, no matter where he ultimately finished on Sunday.
I knew I needed to play a good round, and unfortunately I didn't. Watching the guys, the scenarios, if anybody but Rory would have won, I still would have won the FedExCup.
While mathematics leaves little room for unpredictability, sports, not so much. McIlroy finally got things going with birdies on 10 and 11.
He has played this back nine in 10 under par this week. So don't count him out yet.
And at the same time, disaster struck for Johnson. A double bogey at the 12th hole, and he was 3 over for the day.
Ouch. It's all coming apart.
I can't control what DJ does, but it was pretty apparent that he was having a bad day. Just being able to go out there, freewheel it, and only realizing with maybe 4 or 5 holes to go that, wow, I could actually win the entire thing here. I could win the FedEx Cup, not just the Tour Championship.
Things were starting to line up for McIlroy, but Chappell and Moore were throwing a wrench into his FedEx Cup plans.
Ryan Moore, Kevin Chappell have that 2-shot lead over Rory McIlroy.
Then everything changed in an instant.
It wasn't a perfect number. I needed to take a little bit off a pitching wedge. But at that point, it's all systems go. You just have to fire at pins and see what happens.
Watch this.
No way! You think he's going to take another look at that leaderboard right now and see where he is?
It was the perfect shot at the perfect time. That's why I got so excited, because it felt like I was sort of on the fringes to putting myself right smack bang in contention to win the FedEx Cup.
He's got 4 majors, and I've never seen a reaction like that.
Kevin Chappell came into the final round tied for the lead with Dustin Johnson. And while Johnson struggled, Chappell, who was still looking for his first win on the PGA Tour, thrived. 3 back 9 birdies gave Chappell the lead as he hit his drive on 17.
He hasn't drawn a good lie. It's just one of those, you can see the top of the ball looking straight down at it. It's just grass all nestled around it, ball sitting down.
This 2.5-inch Bermuda rough, and the way it's been cut, the ball sinks to the bottom.
The difficult lie and subsequent bogey left Chappell tied with Ryan Moore and one ahead of McIlroy as they both played the final hole.
McIlroy and a chance to go in, and it's going to be a tap-in for birdie for McIlroy. A huge finish for him to get to the 12-under number.
Moore was left with 12 feet to potentially win the Tour Championship, thus giving Dustin Johnson the FedEx Cup.
But Kevin Chappell in the rough behind him at 18 at that same 12-under number. This putt could be the difference. Moore settles for par. Could have eliminated McIlroy if Moore would have made that birdie, but McIlroy still hanging in there.
And after Chappell parred 18, he joined McIlroy and Moore at a playoff.
So once again, here are the scenarios. If Chappell wins the Tour Championship, Dustin Johnson wins it. Same thing with Ryan Moore. McIlroy is the guy that can spoil Dustin Johnson's bid for the FedEx Cup title.
The 3-man playoff would be a combination of otherworldly shots.
What a majestic looking shot if it's right.
Towering second by McIlroy, and it's that distance for eagle.
And disappointments.
Who would have believed that?
Dustin Johnson just fell out of his chair wherever he is.
Kevin Chappell bowed out after just 1 hole. McIlroy and Moore traded epic pars over the next 2 holes.
We're getting our money's worth.
What a putt by McIlroy! And we're going to head over to the par 4 16th.
Rory's favorite hole.
Back to the 16th. McIlroy was seemingly in control after Moore's 3rd shot ran nearly 20 feet past. But this day was like few in FedEx Cup history.
Ryan Moore holds it!
You gotta be kidding. That is clutch.
You always tell yourself to expect guys to make those putts, but whenever that went in, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. But again, it gave me this great stage to stand up and do what I did.
And this time, the 3rd time's a charm, and Rory McIlroy wins How about this finish?
The improbable win was McIlroy's 13th on the PGA Tour and perhaps his most unlikely. It was also his 4th career victory in the playoffs.
It was a wild ride for the last day of the PGA Tour season. I was very happy to walk away with one of these trophies. A lot of things had to go right for me that day, and thankfully they did.
If what you're trying to model with your mathematics is 100% deterministic and consistent, the numbers will always tell you what the answer is. But the real physical world has randomness in it. Sometimes the data you collect doesn't lie, but may not tell you the whole truth.